It is Sunday night, February 9th, 2020, and you are listening to or watching on Facebook or Twitter to another edition of the Boiler Breakdown. I'm Tanner Lee. You probably know that already, of course. And joining me, as always, is Evan Webb, and returning to the podcast, Andrew Eiler. Boys, I'm not going to lie. This might be the most excited I've ever been to record a Boiler Breakdown.
Yeah, I'm real happy we're doing this tonight.
Yeah. It's always good the day after winning in Bloomington.
You mean Mackey South?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Can we call it Mackey South now?
Can now. The house that Loose built.
Straight wins in Assembly Hall. First time ever to do that in school history. Tommy Luce becomes the first player ever to go 4-0 in Assembly Hall in school history. Now, if we were to go there next year and win, we tie Wisconsin for the most consecutive wins in Assembly Hall with 5. Wisconsin had 5 between 2008 and 2013. And I believe before that, Wisconsin's losing streak there was in the 20s.
Wow. I'm trying to think who was on those Wisconsin
Ryan Butch
teams.
banked in the
That's
3
right.
in 08 to get it started. And then
That's right.
Wisconsin had pretty good teams after that.
Yeah.
That was, because I remember that was when Purdue – that was when it was always tough to win up there at Madison with Bo Ryan. And I feel like I remember Carl Landry going up there and winning, and that was like a huge thing.
Carl did, but the Baby Boilers did.
Right. That was
up
the
in
first.
Madison?
Yep.
We had Terrence Crump. That was like his senior year, I think. Yeah.
Yep. And then we won quite a bit up at the Kohl Center.
Yeah.
Yep. So
We're not here to talk about the Kohl Center.
no, we're not. No, we're not. Like I titled it, Boilers win at Mackey South. So we're here to talk about the big game, the rivalry game, the first of 2 chapters this year between Indiana and Purdue.
Rivalry game.
Hey,
Air
Dick
quotes.
Vitale said he can't call it a rivalry anymore. It's a mismatch. And that's 9 out of the last 10, 6 straight, including, like we just mentioned, 4 straight in Assembly. It's, what is it, 1,449 or 1,450 days now?
It's a lot.
1,004 or something like that, 1,005, I don't know. But a lot of days since February 20, 2016, which was the day the last time the Hoosiers beat the Boilermakers in basketball. Oh, it feels good.
Yeah.
Feels good, especially to do it yesterday when the general, Robert Montgomery Knight, as I think we heard a million times yesterday on the broadcast from Dick Vitale.
Dick Vitale is probably still talking about it.
I'll guarantee it that he never,
He's been talking about it for the last 20 years.
This was Indiana had waited 20 years for Knight to show up, and so they could say thank you to him.
Which I swear he had called games there before, but maybe it must have been neutral, because I feel like I heard stories of Crean going up to him, trying to shake his hand, and Bob Knight just kind of turned a shoulder to him, gave him the cold shoulder. But I guess that must have been at like neutral site games or something, or away games. I don't know.
I think he maybe did call a neutral site game. I'm not sure, but yeah, he never went back there as a commentator. He came back to Mackey once against Michigan,
Yep.
but this was the first time he'd been in Assembly Hall since 2000.
I was rooting. I was hoping he's going to keep trolling IU and either not show up or show up in like a gold sweater. I was hoping so hard that he wasn't going to be wearing red.
It sounded like this has been planned for a while. I mean, I know it was rumored earlier this year for the Ohio State game, but when they kind of got this 1980 Big Ten championship team together, that's when it kind of started.
Which I feel like is terrible planning on them, because the 1980 Big Ten championship team lost in the Sweet 16 to Purdue.
Yeah, it's hilarious. It's hilarious. Like,
schedule it some other time.
And when they showed that on the screen, the graphic, I'm like, can we circle that or make it bold or something? I mean, geez.
Yeah, I was like, man, that's a.
Well,
I saw someone post earlier in the week like, oh, they're honoring the 1980 team, which will make Purdue fans happy. And I was like, is that like a jab at Purdue or something? Then during the game, I was like, oh, that would make Purdue fans happy because we beat them in the tournament that year, which is just crazy to think about. Which, talking to my girlfriend during the game when they showed that graphic, we're like, we would have to watch that game probably in separate buildings if we had to play in the tournament. Like, I wouldn't be able to take it.
Oh my gosh,
I don't know how you don't watch in separate buildings right now.
I'm surprised she didn't kick you out. Yeah,
she about did.
But and I'm surprised. I mean, I guess Bob's definitely not in the best shape, but it's good that they were able to get him back.
Before it's
too late.
It was not being an IU fan, but I mean, it was cool. I mean, to see that, but then I think it was cool that Katie was there and they showed him briefly in, and Katie was was clapping. I think they've kind of gotten a relationship, which is kind of cool to see the last, I don't know, decade or so since they've been out. But I don't know. I'm glad he did it now before it was too late.
Yeah, but it sure felt like the Hoosiers were pulling out all the stops, knowing that Purdue had won 5 straight against them. I mean, not only was Knight back in the 1980 team, which included Isaiah Thomas, Quinn Buckner, Mike Woodson, Randy Whitman, bunch of guys who have coached or played in the NBA.
So there's like 4 NBA coaches on that team, which is absurd.
Yep, Isaiah Woodson and Whitman, and then
I didn't know that.
Somebody else.
I totally forgot about Isaiah Thomas until I saw him next to Knight. I'm like, holy crap.
Seems to come back about once a year or once every other year to Indiana. But also Mark Cuban was in the house. Sage Steele of ESPN was in the house. And they showed those two a ton.
I'm sure. I'm surprised they didn't show. I assumed he was there. John Mellencamp. I mean,
usually he gets shown if he's there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. No other celebrities. Jared Fogle, the subway guy, was definitely not there. He would have been probably if he wasn't
a little preoccupied.
Yeah, a little preoccupied somewhere else.
I didn't know if that would be appropriate or not.
But hey, it's our podcast. We can do what we want.
Yeah.
But, Purdue now leads the overall series 121-89. I thought Purdue played I don't want to say a perfect game, but compared to their other road games,
pretty damn good.
Perfect.
Yeah, I think it was just kind of leading into that into the end of the first half when you knew that they had the big ceremony with Knight, the anticipation to go on that 12-0 run with Aaron Wheeler coming out of nowhere. Where they showed he had 3 threes and he's 3 of his last 27 and before this, and now he's 3 for 3 today. And it's like, yeah, all right, perfect.
He went, I think 8 for 9 this past week. 3.
Yeah.
Yep.
I hope he found his stroke back because he helps out big time.
Yeah, it's going to be in a tournament team and a NIT team. I think with him, someone like him and Proctor and those guys. If those guys can get on, then I think we have a chance to plus do a decent do some damage in the Big Ten and even maybe win a game or two in the tournament.
Plus Isaiah looking more comfortable. I mean, and he hit some big shots that. At big times where he wasn't scared to take it and step up at the moment to kind of stop a run or something. But so team seems to be kind of coming together and kind of hitting a little bit of a flow at a good time.
I thought Purdue played really good defense yesterday. Indiana did not have any points in transition, none.
Yeah,
that's usually what they're really good at.
Wow. I did not know that. I didn't realize
that. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
I think I heard that after. I don't know if that was an IU writer. Was like 0. Let me say that again. 0 transition points. And I was like, that's true. I guess I don't remember if they had runouts and missed or if Purdue was just getting back or what. I don't remember.
Purdue was getting back a majority of the time. I mean, Indiana did get going from 3-point range a little bit, but I feel like they didn't look for it enough. And then when Purdue went on the 12-0 run, which was huge to cap off the first half, I feel like Indiana stopped going inside.
They do that. I don't understand.
To do like mid-range jumpers. Like Devontae Green took 2 mid-range jumpers outside the paint, and I don't know. They kind of just went away from their game plan.
They did that. I mean, they did that last year with Romeo. It's like we had the best player on the court. Run your offense through him. This year they've got arguably, probably one of the better players on the court with Trace Jackson Davis. He's proven start of the game. He got Travion in foul trouble a little bit. I think he got fouled by might have been Boudreaux. I don't remember. But he at one point he was the only one who was shooting foul shots for Indiana.
He shot 10 of their 14.
Yeah, and they just
I was speaking of that stunned.
Because they went away from going inside.
Yep.
That's what
I would have
if
you had said the number of free throws IU shot and if you had said over under, I would have put it at 34. Not 14.
I thought there's no way Purdue would shoot more free throws.
Yeah, I just don't get it how they do that. It's an Archie thing, a team thing, but they just went away from going inside, and I don't get it. They did that against Maryland a little bit, and it baffles me.
I don't think Archie Miller's a very good head coach. He had success at Dayton, but it's almost 3 years now. I just don't think he's a Big Ten caliber coach. But hey, that's just my opinion. And I thought Matt coached circles around him yet again.
You can feel free to stick around for as long as he wants, though.
Sure. Let's get a GoFundMe page going for him. Keep him around.
Get that extension.
But I thought everybody for Purdue played pretty good yesterday. Everybody that played scored at least 5 points. That's
It was so
your
balanced.
Your leading scorer was
Yeah.
Eric Hunter Jr. with 12. That's balance. That's a definition of balance. I thought it was interesting. Somebody on the message board said this is Eric Hunter Jr.'s team now. What do you guys think about that?
I think he's definitely stepped into that role. I mean, if it's not, who is it? I mean, no Joe.
Bill and Matt's team. I think I know.
I think
Bill's not-
offensively.
yeah, but I feel
Offensively, it's Hunter.
yeah, I agree.
Starting with the Northwestern game, that last play, the last minute. I don't know. I think I sent you guys. There was like a tweet that was pretty cool that broke down like the movement, and like the minute before they ran the same play and Hunter went in and hit like a mid-range jumper, and then he comes off the screen and he reads it perfect and hits Sasha coming to the back on the top, and I think he's just been way more aggressive kind of since then, and I think the offense is running more through him, and is kind of taking that. Someone compared him to Kamar Baldwin, which I could see a little bit from Butler, who's just he's going to get his shot and drive, and he's just looking more and more comfortable and confident. So I think Purdue needs him on offense to do that, because you can't. They're not as good a passing team, I guess, to get it down low, and they need more spacing with Williams and Harms to actually be able to operate in the paint. So he is providing that balance now. Last couple weeks. Yeah,
I thought it was absolutely huge. He came out and hit 2 threes to get Purdue going when it was 7-6.
We were down 5-0. I was getting a little worried there. I mean, it didn't feel like it was like previous road games where it was like, oh my god, like we're not gonna score forever. But then he hit 2 threes, and that was huge.
Yeah, I mean, he's been their most consistent player.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know if I'd say it's his team, but he's definitely been the most consistent. He gets cool like 10 points every time. Yesterday was 12. Had a big steal on the layup, which was nice to see him finish. He usually struggles, seems like, to finish in transition.
Yeah, but he's just a smaller guy.
He a lot. He got them started, and then, like Andrew mentioned earlier, Isaiah. It seemed like a few times when Indiana would get on a run, Isaiah would stop him, or Sasha would stop him, or Wheeler would stop him.
How about Sasha?
I mean, people were stepping up, hitting threes. Those can be considered clutch threes. They don't have to be a end of a shot clock or a legit buzzer beater to be considered clutch. I mean, those are clutch shots looking back at it.
I mean,
go for it, Webby.
I was gonna say, ever since the Northwestern game, I mean, I guess it's only been since the first road game since then, but Sasha looks so much more confident out there, which hopefully that that shot kind of broke a mental barrier there for him, that he can. I mean, if he can hit, I'm not saying as a score 15, 18 points a game like he's done at home, but if he can hit 2 to 3 threes a game, that can be a difference with whether or not we get blown out or have to make that heroic 15-point comeback late in the second half. If he can do that, that'd be something huge that moving forward this team can do.
Got a question here from Art Shuck. Do you guys think Harms is 100% healthy?
Nope.
I would agree. I think he's definitely getting better.
He's definitely getting better.
But I don't think so. I think it's
I think it's something that's gonna last all year. It's something he's got to play with. Maybe like if there's like a week off between the Big Ten tournament and the NCAA tournament, hoping we make it. That can be something where it can get worked out. But I think it's just something he looked more comfortable the last couple games. But
I thought yesterday was by far the best he looked in a while.
Yeah, and maybe that's just I don't know.
He loves that building.
He does. Yeah,
I thought he played tremendous. I mean, he missed a few free throws, but he rebounded well. He affected some shots, and then
I will say I hate his little 5-foot shot.
It's ugly. It's never
where he doesn't use the backboard. He just goes straight through him. Because he made it once, and my girlfriend was like, "Why do you hate that shot?" And I was like, "Because it's you're right there by the backboard. Use it if you can, because it can just go so wrong in so many ways."
You can tell when he's backing down when he's going to go up with one. It's usually off balance. It's not pretty, but sometimes he makes it. And he made one of those, and then he made and one. And that's role play, and then he made another floater when I think IU had cut it to 7 or 8.
That's what I was looking. I was trying to look because I remember I knew that the first 5 minutes of the second half, IU kind of obviously coming out of that crowd was amped up after that halftime with Knight out there, so I knew that first 5 minutes was okay, this is going to be could decide the game if Purdue's able to kind of keep them back. And they did push it a little bit, but I don't remember. I was trying to see did Sasha? I think Sasha hit a 3 early, and then they found
right after half. I know Eric Hunter had one, but I thought it
Mhm.
was no jail.
Was it no jail? Because
No,
jail.
Joe made one right. Yeah,
I mean,
right.
right
at the
after,
start.
after Knight was saying, "Play defense,
Yeah.
Yeah.
play defense."
10 seconds in, no gel layup.
Yeah, it was a nice move too.
Yeah, and then Hunter took one to the hole. So,
But then that harm stretch where he got and one, and then I think he hit like a little that little floater jumper next time down after IU had cut it to 6, so that pushed it back out.
yeah, really, I thought, like I said, I thought everybody played good. I guess if you have to point somebody out for playing like labeled as the worst game, it's probably Travion.
But
Travion,
even then, like
he hit 6 points. He shot 3 for 11.
Yeah,
but he wasn't. I mean,
he had a
wasn't
block,
terrible.
which he doesn't really do.
Yeah.
Don't really see that much
Got a
very
steal.
often. Yeah,
Got a steal around half court. Showed off some quick hands there. It scared me to death when he was trying to pass it back to Sasha for a 3. But,
I felt like I lost Trace Jackson Davis on the floor with his haircut. Like he just like felt like he blended in. I couldn't tell like from the camera, like for where I was like I couldn't tell which one was him because I don't watch him enough. And then his hair.
I was checking the box score last night or this morning, and saw he played like 34 minutes.
he was leading score with 16 points. A lot of those were garbage time.
Yeah.
And it was all free throws. I mean, he had 8 free throws.
And a late dunk.
Yeah.
Who was guarding him?
It was a combination of a lot of guys.
Yeah, like
you had Travion. You had
did no gel.
Boudreaux,
Yeah, did no gel get on him? Yeah, that's why I was like, okay.
No, Dell was usually on Green when Green was in the game because he's a guy who can go off. But
yeah, he can go nuclear
doesn't
real
do
quick.
That too often really anymore. He hasn't.
How much did he end up with? I think it was only
3.
3. Okay.
3. 107.
Yeah.
Was it a 3-pointer?
That's kind of what Devontae Green's special. If you want to beat IU in Assembly Hall, you have to hope to get the bad Devontae Green, and they did.
Had to shut him down. Shut down Al Durham. Finney
Smith played okay. He usually plays good against Purdue. Smith does.
Yeah, I think he looked fine. Yeah, he looked good.
He's one of those guys that scared me just because him playing I think he plays the 3, and he's a big athletic 3 that I wasn't sure who was gonna take him.
When they were giving the ball down low to Joey Brunk, I don't know. I think he got it poked away from him and stolen a couple times, and I was like, yes, come on, Joey, keep giving it to Joey.
I just don't. Yeah, I think he was playing with the flu yesterday. I think he was sick. There was a report he had some illness because it was a game time decision, but I just don't think he's very good.
No, he's good. He's very good in the non-conference when he played at Butler.
In Indiana, but they don't play anybody in non-con.
Yeah.
So, man, it's we were talking. Evan and I were talking to Andrew the other night that Purdue basketball playing at Assembly Hall is our least favorite sporting event. But man, it feels sweet after getting a win, and that's 4 straight down there. I mean, I don't know. I guess I fear the building still so much. I don't understand why I do. It's not what it used to be. It honestly isn't.
No, I mean going to the game, I legit in my head thought I can very easily see a 15-point blowout.
Oh yeah, I was fully prepared for like a 20-point loss and turn the game off after like 10 minutes and it's like, nope, I've got better. I don't need to get upset about this. I can do something else.
But
yeah,
we were all surprised, and that was a fun one.
When did you guys let your guard down? Well, it was like I think I told Isabel, I was like, okay, when there was like 10 minutes left in the game, I'm like, if Purdue's up double digits with 2 minutes left, I will unmute the game.
I think it was less than a minute before I was like, okay.
I felt pretty good with like 3.5 left. I think we were up 11 and hit the ball, and we were taking time. It's the way it was going.
I do not agree.
Well, and then it was every time down. And then Purdue was getting fouled, and they're fouling like no gel or harms, and they'd make one and miss the other, and then IU would go down real quick and then get fouled, and like, great, like they're gonna Purdue's gonna miss a couple free throws, IU's gonna hit a couple threes, and like it's gonna be like a 4-point game.
Yeah. Yep. Guess we gotta start being more confident, huh?
I guess.
Got another question from Art. Could No Gel put himself in position for Defensive Player of the Year if he shuts down Lamar? He's talking about Lamar Stevens on Penn State coming up on Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm assuming
he has to
Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, I think he's got to be up there. I mean, was he preseason? I don't know if they do preseason like that. I know he's preseason, like first team Big Ten. I mean,
and was defensive team.
Yeah,
preseason all defensive team.
Yeah, he's been a baller.
And Lamar, he just had a big game I thought I heard
he eclipsed 2,000 career points for Penn
Yeah.
State. He had 33, I think, yesterday or 34.
I was gonna say that was what I heard, like career high.
Yeah.
Like I didn't remember how much it was.
Against
33,
Minnesota.
34.
I don't think of anyone else like. I
Good.
mean, I don't really. Yes, it's hard to figure out who might be in contention with them, but I mean, he shut down a lot of teams. Best,
Mhm.
better players for the most part, unless they're just one of the bigs. But
Yeah, if he plays well against Lamar and shuts him down, I think he's got as good an argument as anybody else in the conference.
I mean, who else is? I guess I think who else would it be?
Mike Watkins is a good defender. For
That's
Penn
true.
State.
But
is Ochuru a good defender?
he's a rebounder. He was a good rebounder. I don't know about that.
I don't.
He had 16 rebounds against Penn State yesterday.
I mean, I know he's a great player.
32 points, 16 rebounds. Okay,
it's
very
so hard for me to pay attention like on defense besides Purdue, like who's really good, unless they stand out like Chris Kramer used to or something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we'll see. It's that's a good question. It's a good question, and we can get into it. Penn State's going to be coming into town on
big game, which is weird to say. Saying a game against Penn State is a big one.
Yeah, it's a 6:30 Big Ten Network game on Tuesday. It's one that ESPN probably would like to have now, but Penn State was not supposed to be this good. They're going to, I would think, move up in the rankings to probably the top 20 this week. So it's the only time Purdue sees them this year. Thank God they don't have to go to the Bryce Jordan Center, which is weird to say because nobody shows up for it. But Purdue,
they packed it out their last game.
Yeah, they're starting to sold it out a little bit, I guess, which is good for the players and their coach with Chambers. But yeah, Purdue seems to win a lot in the Bryce Jordan Center, but it's always a close nail biter and usually overtime. So I don't like playing there. But this Penn State team's tough. They went into East Lansing last week and won by double digits. Was it? No, it didn't end up being double digits, did it? But they won pretty comfortably. It's a good team. It's gonna be a test.
Do you guys think Purdue's hot shooting is going to continue from shooting 65% at Iowa and then 50% at Indiana?
I mean,
is it the team kind of hitting some confidence and going to keep rolling?
They're hitting their stride a little bit, and they should be confident at home. They shoot well in Mackey Arena.
I was worried. I was worried after the home loss. I was worried that there was going to be some of that carryover because it had been. They'd know. Just don't lose at home, and then they do. And then if that was going to make see a little bit of a falter. I was glad that Iowa rebound game, and now coming off of a very well played game down in Bloomington. That hopefully it's how many games left? 6 or 7 left, and then keep it going.
I think there's 3 road games left, and I think 4 home games. So yeah, because next week they have Penn State at home on Tuesday and at Ohio State on Saturday, which Ohio State lost at Wisconsin today pretty easily. Ohio State's a tough team to figure out. A lot of talent, but they're up and down. And Wisconsin seems to they're tough to figure out too. It's like the Big Ten as a whole. I mean, I guess I'll look real quick what the score is with the Northwestern.
It's tied.
It's tied.
66, 48 seconds left.
Northwestern special. They were up 14 at Rutgers, and geez, wow. Got a question here from Mitch Melton, owner of Schroff Landscaping Nurseries, who is the main sponsor of the Boiler Breakdown. Is Wheeler back, and how important is he from here on out?
God, I hope he's back.
If he is, that'd be significant for Purdue and trying to move up. And I think what you said, Tanner, a couple of weeks ago, and trying to keep that double bye streak in the Big Ten tournament. I don't know. He's played hard. I mean, I think he is. I think he's going to keep. I think he just needed a few games like this. And what'd you say? 8 for 9 his last 2 games now.
I mean, he's been playing hard. He's been rebounding. This is the thing. He had some. It's just his shooting's been.
And it doesn't look bad. Nothing.
He looked real
ever.
Saturday on that first one he made. It was just like he stepped into it and.
And it's not like his misses were all way off, he's hitting the backboard or anything.
Yeah, at least he's still most games, not all. At Rutgers, I remember Matt didn't even play him in the second half. Most games he's still been playing hard, doing the other things, playing defense, rebounding. And at least Matt hadn't given up on him. I feel like some coaches just would have given up, and then maybe the player potentially leaves the next year. But he's huge for this team. I mean, it's kind of like Boudreaux and Proctor. I mean, they've turned this team around the last couple of weeks with their play. So
just having, I mean, if he can 7-8 points, just like found offense that hasn't been there, and that's kind of what like I think is what hurt Purdue for the last couple months was okay. He was expected. I mean, he played really well in the Big Ten last year. Was expected to be a big performer on offense. I mean, I think did he start? Was he starting to start the year?
Yep. For a long
time. If he can contribute anything on the offense, 7-8 points, that takes the team when Purdue is struggling to hit 60 2 months ago to now, okay, you're pushing 70, 75, and the offense just moves better. And
you
win a lot more games when Purdue plays good defense and can score 65, 70 points.
It attracts attention from the defense when he hits a couple. There was a play in the second half where the defense was, shading towards Wheeler, and it got Thompson open for a 3. And then he nailed it. So I mean,
it makes the job for Trey and Matt that much easier.
Yep.
If no one's hitting from the outside, they can just kind of pack it in, and it makes their job that much harder. And if we can just have that threat, all it really takes to just have that threat, and it can be a world of difference.
And I thought the offense moved really well yesterday, and I think it was Eric Hunter after the game.
Yep, I was going to bring that up.
Said that they didn't run too many sets; it was just motion offense.
I did that last couple games.
Was great yesterday.
Yeah, they said that as Painter said after the game too, because someone brought that up to him in the post-game press conference, that a lot of these teams, they can pick up on your indicator. There's always an indicator of what set's about ready to run, and when teams can pick up on that, they just sit there. They can just sit on it, is what he said. So having that constant motion, they can't really rely on that indicator or whatever, and they actually have to sit there and defend. So that which I feel like that's what with our offense last couple of years, what it's thrived on is just that motion offense, and keep running until finally you get that open, either dump down low or get that open shot from the perimeter.
I also like Matt Harm's post-game comments. It's not going to make him any more liked down in Bloomington, but he was respectful for his answer. He didn't, he politely said it. He pretty much said they're asking about the effect of Bob Knight and the environment and everything. He pretty much said, I care about the guy behind our bench. That's Gene Katie. That's who I care about. That's who I want in our locker room. And all that halftime stuff, that doesn't have an effect on me. I knew we were going to come out hitting. So I was like, all right. He's a Boilermaker. I mean, I know. I understand why a lot of other fan bases hate him, but he should be a fan favorite of many in Boilermaker.
I had the game on mute. Was he getting heckled like he was last year? I'm sure.
I mean, big time when he came in the game the first time. That was it.
Yeah.
No chance. No nothing.
Okay.
I guess there was something thrown on the court at some point, but I read like third game in a row.
Happens.
He even said they asked him if he got heckled at all. He said, nah. He said they were appropriate fans and were respectful and just cheered on their own team this time.
He said last year was a tougher environment than this year, which I mean I get it. We kept him out of it for most of the. Yeah. I mean, once we took that lead, we didn't really.
12 run was huge.
Yeah. When Wheeler hit that 3 to start it, I think it was like 4 minutes left in the first half or something. Then Purdue was down 3, and Wheeler hit a 3 to tie it. And then I think I went to the bathroom and came back, and Purdue was up like 6. I'm like, awesome. Yeah. I was pretty pumped that it was tied.
Yep, it's yeah. I mean, we said the other night on the podcast, the first 10 minutes were crucial, and Purdue passed that test and then just kept going. And wasn't Boudreaux's dunk awesome to seal it?
Yes,
just staple it off.
Especially the video version, like the Purdue videographer, they show it when he goes up and dunks, you to see all the empty seats. And I was like, oh, this is amazing. I love it.
Dick Vitale did make 2 comments about that towards the end of the game, and saying that this isn't the Hoosier faithful leaving for the exits early. Come on now, or something. I'm thinking this isn't the Hoosier faithful that used to watch Bobby back in 2000 and pre-2000. I mean, this is a different program right now. Their fans like to think they're still, in the same era as those dusty banners. But a lot of these kids, like all the kids playing on the court yesterday, none of them remember when Bob Knight was coaching. Barely any of them were alive when he was coaching.
Yeah. What, 2000? Is that when he?
Yeah, that was his last year. So, I mean, he'd have to be an older upperclassman to even be alive when he was coaching Indiana. Most of them were alive.
He wouldn't remember it, even if they were
alive when they were at Texas Tech. But.
Yeah, but at him at Indiana, they weren't going to remember it. I mean, they may have been 1 or 2.
No, exactly. So, interesting. But any more thoughts on yesterday's game at all, besides it just being glorious to watch?
I always feel better winning the first one, no matter where it is, just because at worst worst case we're going to split, which is totally fine, just because you don't expect to win there. Now it's like, okay, just getting swept is so much worse.
Yep.
And that was what I'm always afraid of. So if we lose this one, it's like crap. Like if Purdue did lose both, it's like now it's another year until then we haven't had to worry about that for a few years or like 5, 6.
And it's funny,
10,
a comment
whatever.
I'm getting a lot for the first time in many years as well. We have the bucket. It matters who it is that says it to me. If I know they're a legit IU fan, I'm like, okay, you got the bucket. Hopefully we can get back in November. But if I know they like Notre Dame and IU, I'm like, nah, you can't say that to me. Come on now. So, but it's funny. It's I saw a post on IU's free board asking if they're a football school now.
That's sad.
Hey.
Yeah, that was we were kind of talking about before the game. It's just crazy how this is an important game for both teams, and there's it would seem, and I don't know how true it is, but there seems like a large section of the fan base for them that just don't care about the game, and it was just they were happy to see,
Yeah, but
who likes to choke his players on the sideline.
They have to celebrate the past like that because their present hasn't been that good
since 2013.
They never celebrate the 0-2 runner-up team. I feel bad for that team. I mean, that team made the national championship game, and they never get recognized for anything.
Yeah,
neither does that head coach.
2 years. No, wait, no. I guess that I don't remember them. I remember hearing them like having a 10-year reunion or 15-year reunion.
No,
but I mean, if they did, they did it like the second game of the season, like, would we hear about it? Because we don't watch. They're not watching IU against.
You're right.
Western Michigan or something.
You're right, but I feel like we would have seen it on social media.
Right. I don't follow that many IU accounts, so
I don't follow any IU accounts, but I follow some Indy Star accounts and some different things like that.
Big Ten and
I guess
it was just crazy to see. Which I don't know. I struggle with. I get the admiration for what Knight did on the court. I should rephrase on the court because some things happened on the court that weren't good, but how he won. How he won and. The fact that he won 3 national championships is incredible, but I just feel there's a lot of people who just kind of because now he's old, it's like, oh, we forgive him for what he did. It's like he was a pretty terrible person.
Oh yeah, if you watch a documentary, if he did any of those things nowadays, he'd be spending some time in jail.
Yeah,
he got away with a lot of things.
I get. It's just hard for me because sometimes you try and separate, the coach from the person or whoever, but it's like, man, he did that a lot. Some of that stuff is just pretty egregious, and I get. I'm happy that some fans got some closure because we have a lot of
We can finally stop hearing about it.
I hope so.
I don't think he comes back again. I think it was a one-time thing.
Yeah, I mean, we have some friends who are IU fans who don't like Bob Knight, but their parents, who grew up, watching him, win a lot of games, who may have that closure, but. I don't know. I just feel like it's hard. Again, I'm completely biased, liking the other school, but I just find it hard to have that separation of, what he did, winning games compared to what he did, outside of, the 40 minutes of a game. It's just, I don't know. It's just hard for me. Like, I know, like my girlfriend, Hannah, she doesn't care that he showed up. Yep. I mean, she also didn't grow up an IU fan, but it's just, I don't know. I just don't get how some people are just head over heels for him when you knew what he did. Like I saw some people,
It's because he contributed 3 national championships out of 5. That is it. That is the reason. I mean, that's all they care about.
Kind of the poster child of how winning really does help turn a blind eye, and
absolutely
what we see now at Michigan State, Penn State. But yeah, it's just I don't know. It baffles me.
Yep, we got a comment here from Skip. His health is such, might not be around, or dementia. He might not remember. Yeah, we kind of hit on that earlier.
Yeah, I don't. That's kind of why I think he doesn't come back. It's more so that
that much is sad. I mean,
sad.
Sure. Yeah, and it was neat to see at the Pacer game last night. Him and Gene recognized at halftime, and they even sat together at the game and everything. Yep. So that was pretty neat.
So we went to the game and we saw him come out. I was looking for him. I knew that they were coming. I didn't see them. I was looking. I didn't.
They were in that suite. Together. Looked like.
Okay. No. Yeah, they didn't show him. I'm surprised they didn't show him on the jumbotron, or if they did, I didn't see it. I guess, but
I didn't know you went to the game. That's cool.
Yeah.
Actually, I
Go
should
see
have.
Etuan. Go see Etuan.
Yeah, the Pelicans won, right?
Yes.
Did Etuan play well?
I think he had like 5 or 7.
Did he
played
play a
okay. No, he might have been like the 8th guy off the bench, or it's like 3rd guy off the bench. Sorry,
It was
But-
like watching Zion.
he didn't play.
Oh, that sucks.
I was disappointed. Yeah, we got invited by a couple friends to go, and I was like, sweet, go see Zion and Etuan. It'd be awesome. Like it was like right after we knew we talked about these tickets like 2 months ago, and then they said Zion return like mid-January. I'm like, perfect. I'll have like a few games. And nope, he was dressed.
Gotta love the NBA.
Yeah.
What
Stuff
about,
seems to happen a lot of times.
And Vic Oladipo didn't play either.
Dang. Was LeVar Ball there? That's the real question.
Probably. I don't know.
If anybody wants to watch a replay of the Purdue Indiana game, the game is on, according to Art, on Big Ten Basketball on 60 tomorrow. He already has the DVR ready. So
My boy Art.
those are fun to watch when you want to go back and watch a game because there's, very limited commercials and they shorten the game down and everything to 60 minutes.
Oh my
Can they
gosh,
make
so you
it-
wouldn't have to hear Dick Vitale as
No,
much.
It would.
Yeah, you
as
still
much.
would,
Can they reprogram it with like Rob Blackman and the Cliz on there?
Yeah, it's man, that was one of the most difficult broadcasts to sit through, but hey, who cares? We got the win.
So,
Yeah.
so here's my question. So they'll say on like March 1st, is this going to be a game that we look at that was a turning point for both teams, and that Purdue is their rise is okay? So they've won 3 in a row, and they catapult and IU's now 4-game losing streak.
I think
Or is this the point where IU or
before.
Purdue goes? They kind of go up and going. Do you think it was Iowa game for Purdue?
I think it was a Northwestern game
Yeah.
for Purdue.
Down 58-50 with a little time left.
Mhm.
If it happens what we want to happen, I think it was Northwestern game. And then for them,
I mean, they've
the Maryland
this
game broke
start
them.
of a
the
row. Yeah.
Maryland game. It was same thing, for Northwestern Purdue game, but just in reverse as they had the lead and kind of just lost it at
Up
the end.
6 with 1:07 left, I believe.
Something like that,
Wow.
yeah.
Yep. So got another question here from Skip. Webby, you might be able to hit on this one. How many recruits for us were at the IU game, or do you think we get more in 2021, 2022 prospects behind the bench before season closes?
I wonder if Skip's wondering if for when it's the return game at the end of the month.
Oh, okay.
I know target for both Purdue and IU, Trey Kaufman, supposedly he was at the game
Yesterday.
down in Bloomington. I think he just wanted to go to watch Purdue, in my opinion. He's really high on Purdue. I mean, obviously, where he lives is, as Brian Newbert for Golden Black has referenced, might as well be the Bermuda Triangle for Purdue because it's kind of in that Indiana, Kentucky, Louisville kind of trifecta there for fandom. But he seems to really have taken a liking to Purdue, and he's been on campus quite a few times. And I mean, he's going to be a kid who's going to be sought after by a lot of big time programs. So it'll definitely be a tough get. But I think we're in a really good spot right now. I don't know. It's the Thursday night game in West Lafayette, so it's going to be tough.
We just need Caleb First to come. Caleb First is probably at the Iowa game. He only comes for Purdue to win by 30. So I'd be okay if he's there.
But outside the Michigan State game, every other game Purdue's has, or for the most part, has been 7:00 weeknight games.
Right. That's true.
Virginia and
I know Harrison Ingram, 5-star player from Texas. He's coming for the Michigan
game.
That's a Saturday game. That's the only Saturday game that day for the Big Ten.
Yeah. So I mean, I feel like hopefully,
I think there'll be some younger guys. I bet there'll be some younger guys.
Probably a lot of local kid. Local as in like Indy, South. Maybe like a Blake Wesley.
Can we get a Yanni Karloftis behind the bench?
Yeah, Max Christie.
Yeah, Max Christie, come on down again.
Ooh, yeah.
I think maybe someone like a Blake Wesley who's who's looking at both IU and Purdue right now from South Bend. He might.
That seems to happen a lot. Purdue will get somebody in that's also looking at the other team.
Yeah, I mean,
when they play them, but
I don't blame the kid. I mean, it's a chance to watch a good basketball game. Hopefully,
sure. No, it might be a coincidence. It just seems to happen a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. You'd hope a lot of kids can be there, but it's not like last year where the game was on a Saturday, so it's a chance for a lot of kids, especially out of state kids, to come and go. But I mean,
it'll be interesting to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
So, I got another comment here from Skip. Seeing Butler, Virginia Tech, Texas, and Florida State close season. Seemed they peaked too early or the flip.
You can talk about one of those.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to talk about Butler. They looked like garbage today.
Andrew is a Butler grad for anybody who's watching or listening to this for the first time. So he likes both Butler and Purdue. So that's where he's coming from there.
I have not even kept tabs on any of those other teams that we've played. But
I know Virginia Tech we played last year. We didn't play this year. It was VCU that we beat. They won Friday night. Texas lost at home to Texas Tech yesterday. They're right on the bubble. Mm-hmm. Florida State's actually been playing well.
Yeah.
They have Duke tomorrow, which is going to be a big game. And Duke is coming off that crazy comeback finish against North Carolina.
How cool was that? So that was 1 point game as well, right? That was 1 point this year?
2
points?
2 point overtime.
2 point overtime. That was how crazy was it that was the 101st meeting. Yeah. The record was 50-50, and they had exactly the same points. Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm
terrible at predicting games because I predicted IU was going to win by like 15 yesterday. I thought Duke was going to blow the doors off of North Carolina yesterday.
I picked Carolina before the game.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you put any money on it, Tanner?
I forgot Cole Anthony was back. I just, for whatever reason, just completely spaced that. So
they haven't won a game since he's returned. They're 0-3 or 0-4 since he's returned. They're just not good this year, and they got tons of talent, and it doesn't make sense. But you guys want to predict some Big Ten games for the week?
Yes, sir.
Rutgers is up 75-73 in overtime with 37 seconds left, by the way. We'll keep you updated on
overtime.
But Tuesday, the first game, of course, we've already talked about a little bit. Currently ranked number 22 is Penn State at Purdue. 6:30 game. Penn State is 4-3 on the road. They've won 6 straight games. And Purdue is 10-2 at home, won 3 straight games.
I wonder what the line's going to be on this game.
Purdue we were favored against Iowa by 4.
ESPN matchup predictor has us a 71.1% advantage.
I'm picking the Boilers.
I think Purdue back at home.
Yeah. I feel that's what scares me.
I think it'll be a good game.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think I'm still that it's Penn State. They're ranked, but still it's Penn State.
They gave Purdue a heck of a matchup with Mackey last year. They were winning for a majority of the game last year. So
yeah, I'll pick us. I think it's gonna be I hope for another 30-point blowout.
Oh, it's gonna be like 11.
Did you guys know? 11. Besides our double overtime Minnesota win, the next closest margin for victory in Mackey is against Northwestern, 58-44 back in December. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. Other games on Tuesday, we've got Nebraska at number 9 Maryland, who is in sole first place in the Big Ten.
And
I still don't believe it. What's the crazy thing?
Yeah, they're going to win easily.
I don't think Turgeon's a very good coach, but I think they wax Nebraska.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, easily.
You agree, Andrew?
Yeah. I don't know if
this next one's intriguing.
This next one's intriguing because both teams need it. You got number 16 Michigan State coming off 3 straight losses. Yep, they lost at Wisconsin, at home against Penn State, then at Michigan. And you got number 20 Illinois coming off a home loss to Maryland, which they were up 14 points at 1/2 in the first half, only to be down 2 at halftime. Big game for both these teams. And
in Illinois.
Michigan State won the first matchup in East Lansing. I'm going with the Spartans.
I'm picking Illinois.
ESPN app has Michigan State with a 59.2%.
I just can't see them losing 4 straight Big Ten games. I don't know if it's ever happened under Izzo.
I thought the same thing when they were going to Michigan, but so I'm going to pick Illinois.
All right.
I want to see this Big Ten race.
I hope you guys are right, even though I don't really like Illinois either.
If
but
Michigan State loses, they'll tie us in losses.
Yeah.
In the Big Ten.
And we got the tiebreaker.
Nuts.
Over them.
So maybe do we want Illinois to lose just for the sake of record? But then Maryland has a 2-game lead over.
No, because you're talking about seedings. No, I don't.
Yeah.
I think Illinois.
It's too early to talk about Big Ten tournament.
Is it though?
I mean,
how many games left?
I know, but that's a lot of headache. And
speaking of though, when was the last time Michigan State didn't have a double bye? And right now they're in 5th.
Well, Purdue's the only team to have the double bye every year since it started. So there was one year Michigan State didn't.
Oh, really?
I don't know, but
I would have thought that they've always been top like 4.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I think they were 5 one year. I don't know what year. I'd have to go
Okay,
look it up.
never mind.
And Tanner could be wrong, but I'm acting confident, so I'm sticking with it. So, let's see here. Wednesday night we have Rutgers at Ohio State.
Rutgers just beat Northwestern, by the
Yep,
way.
77-73. Yep.
I think
What a
Ohio-
choke job for Northwestern. Man, they've done that a ton this year.
I think Ohio State takes it.
Rutgers, Geo Baker's back, and no, go Rutgers.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Rutgers as well. I don't know why. Maybe soften Ohio State up a little bit for Saturday. But in Michigan at Northwestern Wednesday night.
It's weird.
In Evanston.
Yes.
I think Michigan.
I think Michigan too.
Rivers is back. He changes that team around a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
And then Thursday night, Iowa at Indiana.
Only game in the Big Ten that day.
You know,
Man.
I hope Iowa has. Oh man, I think IU has a bounce back game, but if they drop this one, I think they're in a free fall
I
for
mean,
the rest of their season.
ESPN has them as IU at a 51.5% for the matchup indicator. Hey man,
I'm picking IU, but
I don't know. They're not gonna be able to stop guards. I don't think,
nobody can.
unless
I mean, yeah, like Purdue didn't stop
It's
them.
how can you stop the other guy?
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm gonna pick Iowa.
I will in a close one. Yeah. Yeah, because I thought Iowa came out ready to play against Nebraska. They played hard. I'm sure practices weren't fun whole weekend. And if Indiana doesn't come out ready to play hard Thursday night after losing 4 straight, losing to a rival on such a big historic day for that program, then yeah, that's real bad looking forward for them.
Yeah.
So then Saturday, Purdue at Ohio State. That's the big Fox noon game.
Ugh.
Ohio State is 11-2 at home. Purdue's 3-6 on the road.
ESPN app gives Ohio State a 64.9% on the matchup indicator.
This is a place Purdue's historically struggled at, but they've won 2 straight in Value City.
Discount Furniture Arena.
I hate that place. I've been there once, and it's a nice state arena. I mean, but it's like a pro arena, and
It's an
just-
NBA
the
arena, right?
The atmosphere wasn't very good, and they were ranked number 1 in the country. We were number 10 back in 2011.
You got waxed.
Oh, I wanted to leave at halftime, and I couldn't because I rode on the paint crew bus. Yeah, it was awful. Diebler and Buford were just nailing everything. Kraft and Solinger and Lighting. Oh, that team was good. That team was Final Four team.
I'm going Purdue's gonna
high train.
get on a little roll. Yep, say Purdue's on a roll. Keep it rolling. Chris Holtman's gonna go home crying.
Yeah, I keep forgetting. Yeah, the Butler connection there. Yeah, I'll
Sure.
pick the Boilers too. Why not? Last week I felt terrible going into both games. Now I'm feeling great. So,
God, now we're gonna lose both games.
oh Lord, blame it all on me. Just not have me back on the podcast. You guys can just take over. Other games, there's 5 of them on Saturday. Northwestern at Penn State.
Penn State, big.
Yeah, I agree.
Large.
Wisconsin at Nebraska.
I don't want to pick Wisconsin, but I
don't know.
Actually, no. This is not in the.
Nebraska.
I'm going to do it. Wisconsin.
Do I care about that game? No. I guess I'm rooting for
I
Nebraska.
don't care at all.
Yeah, I think Wisconsin wins. I don't think Nebraska's very good at all. Illinois at Rutgers. Illinois beat them in a very ugly game the first time they played this year.
I think Rutgers.
I think Rutgers.
I think
takes
at
it.
has Rutgers lost at home this yet?
No,
Nope.
they should. They probably should have
Rat.
today.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a big week for Illinois. Michigan State at home and at Rutgers. I
It
bet
could
a
be-
lot of their fans would take a split right now.
That's
Man,
correct.
they could free falling right now.
Yeah.
If they lose these two. Wow.
Yeah.
The following week they go to Penn State.
Interesting to hear what your co-host says on your podcast tomorrow, Tan.
I doubt he's going to want to talk about them, but he's going to. He's got to fill up an hour. So I'm taking Rutgers as well.
Yeah.
I have Illinois going 0-2 this week.
This is a big week for Michigan State, too. Good
And
Lord.
then the Saturday night 6:00 game is Maryland at Michigan State. Yeah, Michigan State goes to Illinois and at home against Maryland, who's the leader in the Big Ten.
I think Michigan State gets this one.
Yeah, I think at home Saturday night they'll be ready to play.
Yeah, if they can get both at Illinois and Michigan or in Maryland at home, those are two pretty big wins. Maybe that gets them going again, unfortunately. But I agree with you guys. I think they get it done at home. And then Sunday, 2 games: Indiana at Michigan. I got Michigan.
Yeah.
I hope so. Yeah, sure.
I just don't see it right now.
Yeah, Indiana, kind of like Purdue, they haven't proven that they can win on the road aside from they won at Nebraska, something Purdue can do. But they haven't had, that against, a quality, good quality team, in the upper, mid-tier to upper Big Ten, which obviously Michigan is not one of those teams. So I don't know what point I'm trying to make. I'm going to take Michigan to wrap that point up.
I want Michigan just because I want IU to go on another 9-game losing streak like they did last year.
I don't want Archie to get fired prematurely. That's the thing.
But we talked about it with timing of the AD. I don't think they can. They're not going to have an AD.
You never know.
I mean,
yeah, they got some.
Morgan Burke probably could have fired Daryl Hazel, but you want the new guy coming in to be able to fire and hire whoever he wants, because if Glass fires him, he's going to have to hire a new guy unless they just are without a coach for a little bit, and that hurts you with recruiting.
Yeah, you can't. I don't know. Did they have an AD? Have they hired anybody? I have no idea.
Not yet. There's a guy, I think Temple's AD used to play at Indiana, and he's a lead candidate, but no, they have not announced anybody yet. So. And then Iowa at Minnesota Sunday. It's also at the same time as the Indiana-Michigan game.
I'm going to pick Minnesota. Don't know why. Do it. Just to shake things up.
I do like Daniel Otoro.
Oturu and Carr are studs, but besides that, they have Kalashar can hit once in a while. Besides that, they don't have any.
I don't, and I hate little Patino. I just don't like him. I'm Iowa.
I'm a big fan, though.
Not a big fan. I don't know. Is there? I feel like I hate every coach. Actually, I don't. I'm not even stop saying that because I feel like I don't know if there's a coach I do like in the Big Ten, football or basketball, besides Brown and Painter.
Brown was at Assembly Hall yesterday. Him and Brady, which I think they've made that trip every year.
They went to the Pacer game too.
I saw him at the Pacer game. Cool. Yeah, I was going to say they were sitting courtside. Yeah, right next to Lance Stevenson almost.
You got to love how they support all the rest of the Purdue sports, and the Purdue sports. It's like a family right now. It's a pretty cool the culture overall with Shondell, Painter, Brom, Versa.
I didn't realize that.
We're not talking about women's basketball right now.
No. Sorry,
you didn't bring that up.
Yeah.
I didn't. I just realized it. I think right as we started the podcast, there was a football high school combine. I think it was in Indy Saturday, Sunday. So I'm wondering if that's why they were there at the Pacer game, because they were down there recruiting, doing stuff. I'm like, yeah, there it is. I was like, he had a Purdue jacket on. They both had Purdue stuff, and they were sitting with somebody who had a Purdue jacket on. I'm like, he should be out recruiting.
Well, or just more. Gene got honored, so maybe it was any of that or something. So, but. I'm going to take Minnesota as well at home. I don't know. I like them at home. So, yep, it should be a fun week of Big Ten games. This conference race is wild. It's pretty crazy. It changes week to week. I mean, Purdue's right back. I'm not saying in the mix to win it, but they're in the mix at least for that double bye potentially. So,
what do you think? What do you think it's going to take to win the Big Ten this year? What's the record? Currently, Maryland is 9-3.
Yeah, you can't lose any more games.
2 teams with 4 losses, 3 teams with 5. So yeah, 5th place right now. 6th place, 8-5.
I think 5 losses can get you.
I was gonna say I think 5 wins it.
I think 5 can win it. Yeah,
That's
or at least
crazy.
co-win it, or at least get you.
Because
4, I think you win pretty comfortably. You win by 2 games.
Oh yeah,
you lost 3 last year and got 2nd.
Yeah, it's just weird year to year. I mean,
Yeah, because Maryland has 3 losses. They still have to play Michigan State twice.
Penn
We were
State.
at Minnesota,
Big Ten champs last year.
at Rutgers.
Mhm.
Oh, I thought you said we got 2nd. We were co-Big Ten champs last year.
2 years ago.
Oh, 2 years ago. Yeah. When
I know we won last year.
Michigan State won it. So, any other closing thoughts? So we do have one question here I want to answer from Art. Again, we appreciate everybody's comments and questions tonight. They've been great. It's always fun when we can interact with you guys. Art wants to know who, in our opinion, is the toughest game we have left. I think it's at Iowa.
Yeah, at Iowa. That or Tuesday.
Yeah.
I think those 2 games.
Home against Penn State.
Just because Lamar Stevens,
but they got no gel. I think no gel right there. Big Ten defensive player, no
Watkins
Joe
is
Eastern.
good
Shut him down
defensively.
after that.
You never know. Watkins is a hell of a rebounder. I remember.
Yeah, that's
year,
what.
He's a hell of a rebounder, which is kind of what we've. That's how we kind of can. We've lost games is he's getting out rebounded. But yeah, I would say home against Penn State or at Iowa.
I think it's at Iowa, but another one that kind of worries me a little bit is Michigan at home. I know we took them to double overtime, but they got shooters that make me nervous.
They're just
Testy,
always they're just
Wagner, Livers is back.
They're just a
always
mismatch
plays well against
historically.
Purdue, so, but I mean,
Not
every
holding
game's
out.
going to be tough. Let's be honest. Every game's going to be tough. But also, I don't know if there's a game, maybe the Iowa one, that I point at and say automatic loss. So,
Yeah. I don't even
the other two road games are at Value City and against Ohio State and at the Kohl Center against Wisconsin. I mean, those are both winnable.
Yeah. I mean
they just played in an extremely hard environment for that team yesterday. I mean, when Purdue goes in Assembly Hall, it's a little different than any other team. And they came out victorious. Beautiful.
what was the largest victory in Assembly Hall since like 77, something like that?
Yeah, and since the start of 2017 season, we've won in Assembly Hall 4 times and only lost in Mackey Arena overall 3 times. Yep.
Hell yeah.
Pretty impressive. Keep it going. So I feel a lot better now than I did a week ago. We got one more question here. Steve Dotson, does IU make the dance?
I think Purdue and IU kind of flipped their positions going into yesterday. I think IU was, in. Purdue was kind of one of those like probably first 4 out type thing. I think now they've kind of flipped where IU's kind of on the outside looking in, and Purdue was maybe in that first 4 in, or last 4 in conversation. I think if we win on Tuesday, we get more secure in there.
We are tied for third in country in quad 1 victories.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. I think it's one of those. I think if we can get one more road win, like an at Wisconsin, at Ohio State, I like our chances of feeling more secure. We
still take care of your home game.
Yeah, you can't lose a home game. That goes without saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they've got a tough schedule. I mean, they mentioned that in the Maryland game that they had the toughest schedule in the country moving forward. And yeah,
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say IU does.
I would say as of right now, no. Just
bubble.
based on their play the last few games and their remaining schedule, I'd say no.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, they've got plenty of opportunities to get good wins and get in, but as of right now, I'd say no.
What a polar opposite week they've had versus Purdue. I mean, Purdue, huge win at home against number 17 Iowa, and then big win on the road, and IU just 4-game losing streak.
Yep.
Going different directions.
Yeah, now they got Iowa and at Michigan, another big week for them.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, as Webby said, you hate to see it. So, all right, guys. Any other last closing comments?
It just always feels good to win down there.
It does.
It never gets old.
As we didn't have that signature dunk or anything, but
we'll call the Boudreaux dunk. We'll call that. I mean, that's
Boudreaux. Boudreaux.
Nail
on the cuff.
Yeah.
Good for him. So, all right. Well, that's the boiler up, hammer down, and beat the Nittany Lions and the Buckeyes.
Boiler up.